Okay, module 24 to 28, problem 8. Like with most problems in accounting, the question here is understanding the data, not necessarily trying to do the computations, because the computations are not that bad. First thing we want to do is want to draw a line right through the middle here. This is 13, this is 14. So we got to keep those separate. So we got that piece. Okay, let's figure out the expenditures and then figure out the weighted average of expenditures. So all together here, we've had this for the whole year. So we multiply that by 12/12. We've had this for 10 months. Yeah, January and February. So we had it from March on, so that's 10/12. This we got June 30, so we had that for half a year. That's 6/12. And this we only had for, and keep in mind, make sure you pay attention to the date. The first and the end of the month are very different. And this we got October 1st, so we had that for 3/12. So now we have to figure out the average accumulated expenditures, okay? So this is the whole thing. We had it for the whole year. So that's 1,070,000. This is 10/12, so that works out to 700,000. This is 1/2 a year, so it's 190,000. And this is a quarter, so that's 177,500. So our average accumulated expenditures is 2,137,500. That's what we just figured out. Okay, so we figured out the average expenditures. Then we had to come up with the accumulated expenditures before interest. So we simply have to add up those that whole column, and I didn't do that, so we'll do that together. So I need 1,070,000. Do I have the right number? Zeros? 1,000,000. Too many zeros. 1,070,000 and 840,000. 840,000 plus 380,000 plus 710,000. So my accumulated expenditures, my total expenditures, if I add these up, that comes to, well, you can see it as well as I can, 3 million. Okay, so that's our average accumulated expenditures for the first year, and we'll do the same thing for the second year, okay? So now we have to come up with the weighted average rate of all our debt, because we need to figure out how much of this we're going to capitalize, put on the balance sheet, add to the construction and process, and how much of it goes to the income statement as flat out interest expense. Okay, so let's see what we got here. They have a $3 million construction loan. Okay, so we need that, 3 mil. And we have two other notes of 600 or 6 mil and 8 mil. So the 3 mil is at 14%. And the 6 mil is at 8%. And the 8 mil is at 10%. So let's figure that out. 10% of 8 mil is 800,000. We're figuring out the interest that we paid, okay? And the 8% of this is 480,000. And the 14% of this is 420,000. So that's the amount of interest we actually paid. So you add that all up, and that comes to 1 million. I think. Hold on. Let me check. We'll do it together. 800,000 plus 480,000. Damn it. Plus 480,000, right? Plus 420,000. Oh, I added up something weird. Shit, let me do it by hand, it's easier. 1,700,000. And if we add up all of this, that's 11, that's 17 million. So we borrowed a total of 17 million, and we paid 1.7 million. So our weighted average interest rate is how much money we borrowed, 17 mil, divided by, we're divided into the 1.7. So our weighted average interest rate is 10%. Okay? So we're going to take 10% of our weighted average expenditures, and that's how much we will capitalize. So we will capitalize 10% of that, which is $213,750. That gets added to the construction cost of the building, and the rest of that $2,137,000 is interest expense, and that goes on the income statement for that year. And that's the pieces that we're going to do down at the bottom here. We're going to have our interest expense for the year. Let me zoom it in a little bit so you can see it. No, it makes no sense to write nice and neat and then not have you be able to see it. So we take the, what was that total number? I just covered it up. 2,137,500 minus the 213,750 that we capitalized, put on balance sheet, made pretend it was an asset. You know, when we capitalize something, we're assetizing it. We're making it an asset. And the balance is the interest expense for the year, and that's $1,486,250. You do the same thing for the second year, and then you add both interests to the other construction costs, and that's the total cost of the building.